Good morning students. Now we are going to see about the true experimental design. Okay, so true experimental design is concept is the true experimental research designs are those who are researchers have complete control over the extraneous variables. Okay, extraneous variables you will study your fourth unit and fifth unit. Okay, it can be predicted confidentially, that is observed effect on the dependable variables on only due to the manipulation of the independent variables. Once again, true experimental research design or those who where researchers have complete control over the extraneous variables. Okay, extraneous variables, it is like for demographic data and subjective data. Then other than that, extraneous variables, the extraneous variables, they are having the complete control over the extraneous variables and predict confidentially. It should be confidential. One person is having some physical challenged people, and one person, some other persons are having that mentally challenged people are also. So this all this we are keeping in our confidential and observed effect on the dependable variables. Okay, is only due to the manipulation of the independent variables. Okay, so next one is very essential characteristics of true experimental. The true experimental research design must essentially consist of the following three characteristics. Okay, the true experimental is having three characteristics. One is for manipulation, control and randomization. Manipulation is what we are going to do with the patients, what we are going to do the population, and control is what is that they themselves we are having that control, and randomization, so between the relationship between these two. Okay, so manipulation, it refers to conscious control of the independent variables by the researchers through the treatment or intervention, or to observe its effects on the dependent variables. In other words, it is consists of act by the researcher where he or she varies the independent variables and observes the effect of manipulation has on the dependent variables of interest. Okay, so the next one is for example, the researcher is conducting a study of efficacy of the chlorhexidine mouthwash on the prevention of ventilator associated pneumonia among patients admitted in the ICU. Okay, for example, chlorhexidine mouthwash. Okay, chlorhexidine mouthwash is dependent variables which they manipulated by the researcher, and it is used as the intervention for the experimental group, while control group is kept deprived of it to observe the effect of independent variables. Okay, control is another essential element of the true experimental. See, now we have seen the manipulation, now we are seeing the control. Control is another essential element of the true experimental design. Control refers to use of control group and means they themselves they are controlling. That is, the control is the effect of extraneous variables on the dependent variable in which researcher is interested. Okay, the subject on the control and the experimental group are similar in number. Characteristics by the subject in the control group receive the no experimental treatment or any interventions at all. So without interventions we are doing the research. Okay, so now you come to know that manipulation, what do you mean by control? So manipulation, it is what we are doing the manipulation, like whatever we are giving the treatment for a mouthwash. So like the persons, those who are having that ventilator, so for that persons we cannot brush the teeth, so instead of that we are giving the chlorhexidine mouthwash. So mouthwash, it will be control the bad odor, not only for the bad odor, it is controlling the lysosome also. So same thing for control group, we are not doing anything. So like we are not using any chlorhexidine, whatever it is, but the control group, how they are reducing the smell. So the experimental group receives the planned treatment. So experimental is a manipulation, that is experimental group will receive the interventions, and the comparison is made to the control group and observe the effect of this treatment or intervention. Generally in healthcare nursing research, it is not ethically feasible keep a control group deprived of interventions. However, existing conventional methods of interventions may be compared with the experimental interventions. Okay, so now you got it, know that is generally in healthcare, the nursing research, it is not typically ethically feasible. Keep a control group deprived of interventions. Okay, however, existing conventional method of interventions may be compared with the experimental interventions. Okay, randomization. What do you mean by randomization? So, true experimental design is having manipulation, control, and the randomization. So, third one is a randomization. The randomization means each and every subject has an equal chance of being assigned to experimental or of study subjects on a random basis. Okay, so randomly we are picking the slot and we are assessing the persons. Okay, through random assignment of subject under experimental or control group, chances of systematic bias is eliminated. So, because of randomization, chances of systematic bias is eliminated. Randomization is used to true experimental research design to minimize the threat of internal validity of the study and to eliminate the effect of extraneous variables on dependent variables. Okay, through randomization, the average of characteristics of subject in experimental and control groups are similar. Thus, influence of extraneous variables on dependent variables is eliminated by dispersing the variability of the subject characteristics equally both in the group. Methods of randomization, that is types of methods are there. That is a random assignments of subject made done with a simple flip card or flip the coin. Okay, we are flip the coin whether head or tail is coming. So, according to that we are doing. So, another possible method to write the names, and we are slips and all we are writing now. So, we are throwing the slips and from that one we are picking. Third one is, that is we are giving that blindfolded subjects, choose the number of the subject and we can which number they are selecting, according to that we are selecting. Okay, so these are all the method of randomization. First one is, the method is coin. Okay, coin, when we are flipping the coin, head or tail, which one is coming, so according to that we are taking. The next one is, it is a second one is for blindfolded paper. So, from that one we are picking the paper and we are doing. And third one is, we are facilitating that the randomization, like numbers we are making that. This number means this is the answer, like that. So, these are all the methods of randomization. So, true experimental design is having types. So, types are what are all the types are there true experimental. That is here they didn't give. Okay, so here that is one is for the post test only. Okay, so post test only, pre test and post test only, Solomon 4 groups and factorial, randomization block and crossover. Okay, so these are all the types of experimental design. So post test only control. So for each one we are going to read. Okay, each one is, first one is post test only. So post test is composed of two randomly assigned group, that is experimental and controlled, but neither of which is pre-tested before the implementations of treatment on the experimental group. Okay, in addition, that is while treatment is implement on the experimental group only, post-test observation is carried out on both the group to assess the effect of manipulation. Okay, this design can be helpful for the situations where it is not possible to pre-test the subjects. Okay, so then next one is for example of study the effect of educational intervention related to urinary incontinence. Educational intervention related to urinary incontinence and the subsequent help seeking behavior of the older adult. Once again I will tell you, that is a pre-test only control design. It is composed of two randomly assigned group, that is experimental and control, but neither on which of the pre-tested before the implementations of treatment on the experimental group. In addition, while treatment is implemented on the experimental group only, post-test observation is carried out both the group to assess the effect of manipulation. Okay, so the design is helpful for the situations. Okay, the design is helpful for the situation where it is not possible to conduct the pretest. Okay, for example, the study the effect of an educational intervention related to urinary incontinence on the subsequent help seeking behavior of the older adult. Okay, so random assignment, it is coming under the experimental group and the control group. Experimental group, we are giving the treatment and the post test, and for control group we are not giving any treatment and directly we are assessing the post test. Okay, so then pre-test and post-test only. So in that research design, subjects are randomly assigned to either experimental, practical, or the control group. The effect of dependent variables. On both the group is seen before the treatment. Okay, then later the treatment is carried out on experimental group only, and after treatment observation of dependent variables is made both the group to examine the effect of the manipulation of independent variables on the dependent variables. For example, such a design could be used for an experimental study to assess the effectiveness of cognitive behavioral therapy interventions for the patients with breast cancer. See, once again I will tell you that is a pre-test post-test design only. That is, in this research design, subjects are randomly assigned to either the experimental practical group or the control group. The effect is dependent variables on both the groups is seen before the treatment, pre-test, that is. Later the treatment is carried out the experimental group only, and after treatment observation is of dependent variables is made on both the groups to examine the effect of manipulation of independent variables and the dependent variables. For example, such a design could be used in an experimental design, that is, assess the effectiveness of cognitive behavior therapy intervention the patients with the breast cancer. Okay, so in that random assignment, it is a experimental group and the control group. In that experimental group, pre-test and treatment is there and post-test is there, and control group, that is only pre-test is there is a no treatment and directly post-test will be there. Then Solomon 4 group design, it is already I have taken regarding that Solomon 4 group design. There are two experimental group and two control group. Okay, initially the investigator randomly assigned the subjects to the 4 group. After the 4 group, only experimental group 1 and 2, that is experimental group 1 and control group 1 receives the pre-test. Okay, the followed by the treatment, the experimental group 1 and experimental group 2. Finally, the 4 group receive the post-test where the effect is dependent variables and the study of observed and comparison is made of the 4 groups to assess the effect of independent variables. Experimental design on the dependent variables. See, once again I will tell you that is a Solomon 4 group design. Okay, so Solomon 4 group design, it is nothing that is okay, Solomon 4 group design is nothing, that is there are the 2 experimental group, that is 2 control groups are there. Initially the investigator randomly assigned the subject to the 4 groups. Okay, out of 4 groups, only experimental group 1 and control group 1 receives the pretest, followed by the treatment of the experimental group 1, okay, and the experimental group 2. So finally what they are doing, finally the 4 groups are receiving the post-test where the effect of independent variables of the study were observed and comparison is made for the 4 groups to assess the effect of independent variables. Okay, that is experimental design. So it is in the dependent variables. Okay. Next one is, in this experimental group 2 was observed at the one occasion and the score should be similar to the average scores of those experimental and control group. To estimate the amount of change in experimental and control group 2, the average test scores are experimental and control group 1 is are used to the baseline. The Solomon 4 group design is believed that the most prestigious experimental design because it is minimize the threat of the internal and the external validity. Okay, so random design, that is for the 4 group Solomon group, that is here we have given, that is a pretest for reference. Okay, so this is what they are doing is, here it is a 4 group experimental group and experimental group 2. See, these two both are receiving the pretest. Okay, so experimental group 1 and control group 1 is receiving the pretest, and directly for the experimental group 1 will receive the treatment and post-test. The control group is receiving pretest, there is a no treatment and post-test. Same thing only for the random assignment, experimental group 2 and treatment and post-test is there. For that there is a no pretest for the group 2, it is directly coming to the post-test. Understood? So, this is what we are doing in the Solomon 4 group theory. The next one is a factorial design. The factorial design is a researcher. Okay, the factorial design researcher manipulates 2 or more independent variables simultaneously to observe their effects on dependent variables. Okay, this design is useful when there are more than 2 independent variables called factors to be tested. For example, the researcher wants to observe the effect of two different protocols of mouth care on prevention of VAP when performed at different frequencies of in a day. Okay, so this design also facilitates the testing of several hypotheses at a single time. Okay, so typical factorial design incorporate 2 into 2 or 2 into 3 factorial, but it is can be used in the any combination. The first number, that is refers to the independent variables where the types of experimental treatment, and the second number is refers to the level of frequency treatment. Level of frequency treatment. Next one is frequency mouth care, that is for protocols for the mouth care, chlorhexidine, that is here it is 4 hourly, and saline, they have given some example. Okay, so next one is a randomized block design. The control of inherent differences between the experimental subjects and the differences in experimental conditions is one of the difficult problem faced by the researcher biological science. When there are a large number of experimental comparison groups, the randomized block design is used to bring the homogeneity of the among the selected variables. Okay, so the next one is this is a simple method to reduce the validity. This is a simple method to reduce the variability among the treatment groups by a more homogeneous combinations of the subjects. Okay, for example, the researcher wants to examine the effect of 3 different antihypertensive drugs on patients with the hypertension. In this example, to ensure the homogeneity among the subjects of the subject under treatment, researcher randomly places the subject to the homogeneous groups, that is blocks. Okay, like patients with primarily hypertension, diabetic patients with hypertension, and renal patients with hypertension. Okay, see, once again I'll tell you. For example, to ensure the homogeneity among the subject under the treatment, researchers randomly places the subject of homogeneous groups, like patients with primary hypertension, diabetic patients with hypertension, and renal patients with hypertension. Okay, so here they have given some example, no need. Okay, next one is a crossover design. In this design, the subjects are exposed to more than one treatment, where subjects are randomly assigned to different orders of treatment. It is also known as the repeat measures design. The design is more efficient. It is not necessary, but you can just to know that what do you mean by crossover design. Okay, the design is more efficient in establishing the highest possibility similarity among subject exposed to different conditions, where groups compared obviously have equal distribution of characteristics. Okay, so through crossover design, this is considered as an extremely powerful research design. Sometimes it is not effective because when the subjects are exposed to the two different conditions, their responses of the second conditions may be influenced by their experience in their first condition. Okay, so for example, when we are comparing the effectiveness of chlorhexidine mouth care protocol on group 1 and saline mouth care for protocol for the patient subject 2. Okay, so later the treatment is swapped, where the group 1 is receiving saline mouthwash, group 2 is receiving chlorhexidine. In such studies, subjects serve as their own control. Okay, so advantages of the experimental design. The experimental research designs are considered the most powerful design to establish the causal relationship between the independent and the dependent variables. Where the purposes of the research's explanation, causal relationship may be established among the variables by experimentations, especially in studies involving physical subject, where the variables are more easily controlled than the human studies. In these studies, the controlled experiment in which the study is conducted can yield a greater degree of purity on observation. Conditions are not found in a natural setting can be created in experimental setting. Where the independent variables are manipulated by the investigator, the experimental approach, we can often create conditions in a short period of time that may take years to occur naturally. For example, the genetic study, we can breed strains in a very small time, which would take a long time to nature to occur. The experimental is conducted in a laboratory experimental unit or the specialized research setting, is to remove from the pressure or problems of real life situations, and the researcher can pursue his or her studies in the more leisurely, carefully and concentrated way. Okay, disadvantages of the experimental design. The disadvantages, most of the times the results of the experimental design cannot be replicated the studies conducted on the human being due to the ethical problems. So for certain research problems, because of the danger to physical and psychological health of the human subjects, it is not possible to conduct experiment on human beings. Okay, many of the human beings neither have valid measurable criteria nor instrumental to measure them. For example, patients' welfare or level of wellness cannot be measured on any scale or by any instrument. In these situations, it is refined experimental design is used. There is maybe a mismatch of research design and variables measuring instrument. Okay, the experimental research studies conducted in natural setting like hospitals and community, it is not possible to impose control over the extraneous variables. Another disadvantages of the experimental research design, it is that the very difficult to get a cooperation from the study participants, that is samples, because of its involvement of medical and surgical treatment or interventions, which may make the prospective subjects reluctant to participate in the research study. Okay, so next one is a quasi-experimental design. Okay, quasi-experimental design is a research involves the manipulation of the independent variables to observe the effect of dependent variables, but it lacks at least one or two characteristics of the true experimental design: randomization and control group. Randomization or a control group. In other words, quasi-experimental design have another element of manipulation, but lack at least one of the other two properties that characterize true experiments: randomization or a control group. Quasi-experimental design is generally used to establish the causality effect of independent variables on the dependent variables. Okay, in situations where the researchers are not able to randomly assign the subject to group or for a various reasons to control group is available. Main characteristics of quasi-experimental: manipulation of the independent variables to observe the effect of the dependent variables, lack of at least one of the two other essential characteristics. That is a true experiment, that is random assignment of subject or a control group. Quasi dependent variables are used to instead of true experimental variables, where the independent variables is not manipulates and have a complete controller the situations. Types of quasi experimental design, that is a non-randomized control group design and time series. See, this is randomized control group it is known as the non-equivalent control group design. The design is identical to the pre-test and post-test control group design, except there is no random assignment of the subject in experimental and the control group. In this design, experimental and control group are selected with a randomization, and the independent variables are observed in experimental as well as control groups before the interventions. Later, that experimental group receives the treatment, and after the post-test observation of dependent variables is carried out, both the groups assess the effect of treatment on the experimental group. So here it is, they have given some example like a experimental and the control group. Okay, for the experimental group we are giving the pre-test and the treatment and the post-test. But here it is in the control group we are giving the only pre-test and there is a no treatment for that, then directly we are going to the post-test. For example, this method was used the study to effect the integrated care of quality in work of nursing homes. Like nursing homes, those the nurses are working in the nursing homes, that is we are taking as a quasi experiment. The purpose of the study was examine the implementations of the integrated care of the nursing in the home sector. Okay, it is affect the quality of work in the work of the caregivers, but it is in the non-equivalent pre-test post-test control group design was used in this study. Data was collected through the questionnaire. Okay, the study shows that the intervention appeared to be one successful of the somatic words. The caregivers of these words were more successful in creating a home-like environment to their residents. Regarding the effect of the interventions on the quality of work factors, the result included in increase the social support by the supervision. See here, for I am giving that example, when we are going to the hospital we are giving the effective care for uniformity of the care, but when we are going for the home nurse, so what is the things are availability at the home. Okay, so for each patient needs different needs. Okay, so according to their needs we are giving the care. For we cannot tell that, oh, I want to do that bed making, after that I want to check that temperature, after that I want to do that medications, after that I want to do the procedures, like not like that. So which one is needed, that one we are doing in the first. That is we are taking here, it is easy to assess as home nurse. Understood? So next one is a time series design. The design is useful when the experimenter wants to measure the effects of treatment over the long period of time. The experimenter would continue the administrator the treatment and measure the effects of number of times during the course of experimental. Generally it is a single subject research in which the researcher carries out the experiment on an individual or on a small number of individuals by alternating between administering and then withdrawing the treatment of determining the effectiveness of intervention. Okay, so the researcher might assess the pain level of the group of patients with low back pain. After 3 weeks of pain assessment, subjects are taught special exercise to reduce that pain. During the next 3 weeks, pain levels would be measured, measuring the child's school performance on weekly basis, and then introducing the new teaching technique, then again measuring the weekly basis. So these are all the examples. Advantages of the true quasi experimental design. The quasi experimental designs are more frequently used because they are more practical and feasible to conduct the research studies in nursing, where it is observed absence of large sample size, randomization and availability of control groups are not always possible. Okay, this design is more suitable for the real world natural setting through experimental research design. It allows researchers to evaluate the impact of quasi experimental variables under the natural occurring conditions. It may be able to establishing causal relationship where some of the hypothesis and the practical answered through this design only. The disadvantages of the quasi experimental, there is no control over extraneous variables influencing the dependent variables. The absence of control group is a lack of control over the research setting, makes the results to be design less reliable or weak the establishment of causal relationship between the independent and the dependent variables. Okay, so next one is a pre-experimental design. So research design is considered as a very weak. Okay, this research is very weak because of the researchers have a little control over the experimental. The types of pre-experimental design is one-shot case design and one group pre-test and the post-test design. Okay, one-shot case design is that research design, a single experimental group of exposed to a treatment and observation are made after the implementations of the treatment. There is a no random assignment of subject to the experimental group and no control group at all. Okay. So one group pre-test post-test site is the simplest type of pre-experimental design where only the experimental group is selected the study subject. Okay, pre-test is observation of the dependent variables is made before the implementations of the treatment to the selected group. The treatment is administered and finally post-test observed and dependent variables is carried out to assess the effectiveness of treatment of the group. Some researchers, what they are doing is also argue the design that is a subtype of quasi-experimental research design. However, it absence of both randomization and the control group. This design ethically cannot be placed under the classification of quasi-experimental design. Okay, so quasi-experimental design is experimental group, pre-test and the treatment and the post-test we are doing. Advantages of the pre-experimental design, very simple and convenient to conduct these studies in natural settings, especially in nursing. Okay, most suitable design of the beginners in the field of experimental design. Disadvantages of the pre-experimental design is considers a very weak experimental design to establish the causal relationship between the independent and the dependent variables. Because of controls, there is no threat into internal validity. It has a little control over the research. Then it has a higher threat to internal validity of the research and may have the selection bias, which can be very serious threats for the using the particular design. Okay, so these are all the advantages and disadvantages of the pre-experimental design. Thank you.